Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. Well, that's the first pen with the Rhode Island Reds in it, the 4 that it survived. Of course, 3 of them were in the house. But anyway, I got my buddy out here Saturday, and we don't start till 4 o'clock. It's too hot during the middle of the day. This part's in the shade at 4. So we've got this gate built. It's 5 foot, so I can drive my mower through it. 4 foot high. Well, it's 4'6" or something like that. 4'7", something like that anyway, but it's 5 foot wide, so I can drive through it. And y'all see I bought latches, drill a hole in the post, lifted it just high enough it doesn't scrape. I mean, it hits the loose dirt, but it don't scrape. So got that done. It's pretty solid, actually. I was pleased with it. Lock it back. It's not hard to do. This old gate's been built for a couple years and it's worked well. And this little piece of scrap wood as the lock works just great, so I don't fool with it. But I think it looks good, and we're going to attach whatever scrap lumber I've got at the end to the bottom of this fence so they can't go under it. Of course, it's a lot tighter now since it's nailed to this post. And, you know, of course, the gate. And we nailed it across. Let me double check that. We might not have went back. Nope, we didn't go back and nail it. But it will get nailed to the middle diagonal brace there so that it's a little bit tighter. And I thought about trying to be real pretty with it and put an X on it and all that, but it's just not necessary. It's a chicken pen, and it works well, so I'm gonna leave it like that. So now I could let the baby chicks out, but I haven't got the back done, and I'm not taking that chance. Those babies are gonna live in there for a while. So we started on this one. I don't know why, but that gray chicken was trying to pick on the turkey, or Sue's trying to mount it. I don't know. I think I ended up getting 5 young hens that haven't started laying yet, because they've been here about 5 days. Good Lord, Junior's loud today. They've been here about 5 days and haven't gotten an egg yet. So that'd be my luck, wouldn't it? Grab 5 random hens and none of them have started laying yet. Is the baby turkey in? Yep, the baby turkey's in the corner. Let me pause this. All right, for whatever reason, I thought one of the gray hens was picking on the turkey. I'm gonna have to move it over with the babies. And if I do, that's fine, but pause this again. Had to lock it. But either way, if they pick on it too much, I'll move it. But I don't think the hens that I bought are laying yet, which is not good news. Not good at all. I thought I had at least a couple of that were laying. And 5 days I haven't gotten any eggs, so I don't think any of them started yet. But that's okay. It won't be long, hopefully. Junior, goodness, boy. Anyway, I dumped their water and get them clean water in there. Dump the dirty out. But here's what happened. We got over here and started working this one. We dug a hole, and we dug a hole right here. I stood the gate up and it was only 4 foot wide instead of 5, and I'm like, crap. And this ground is hard as concrete, y'all. It takes us an hour to dig one hole. So we filled that hole in and started digging another at the right spot. And of course, I'll adjust that gate properly once we get this post put in the ground. This fence will come across and nail to the post, and then it'll just be the gate there. But if it's not 5 foot wide, I can't get my mower through there. So We spent a lot of time digging a hole for nothing to fill it back in. So he's going to try to come back Monday, which is Memorial Day. I wasn't even aware that we were off work. But he said, yeah, we're off Monday. I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't know if he's got plans, but I don't. So if it doesn't get too hot here in a little while, I may start nailing that fence to that first post and get set up to start pulling that fence and get it nailed so I can get it ran. I'm working on it. It's a lot to do by myself. It goes a lot better when I've got a helper just to hold stuff, you know. But this gate will mount to the post over there when it's done, and hopefully swing open toward the pins there, so it'll be out of the way and I can come through. And I've got my backhoe pushing on that post because it was leaning, and you see I pushed it up quite a bit. So I'm gonna leave the tractor there for a while. The gate's actually holding it from coming down. I'm gonna leave my tractor there for a little while and see if it can't keep that post where it needs to be, and try to get it to where it's not leaning quite so bad. But anywho, I don't know any other way to do it. But I'm working on it, and I'll finish this video when I get this section done. But appreciate you guys watching. I'll be right back. Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. So I got that nailed across the middle there, on the other side of course. So that fence is tight, and it's nailed to this post instead of being on that board that was on over here. So now, since that post is solid, it helps keep this fence tighter. But I'm still probably going to nail something along the bottom edge of that fence, just because it's a longer run and something could squeeze under it if it wanted to. So here's my stuff I got still to put up on the other side of the fence. So my helper wasn't here today, which I didn't expect it, but I did get the fence that was there nailed to the post. I got that post pretty close to straight, you know, plumb. This post, of course, has always wanted to lean a little bit. So I wanted to pull on it, and I pushed on it with the tractor, let it set up and packed around it and so on. It's very hard to move. I mean, the tractor can do it, I can't. So that's helped a little bit. That gate does swing now without scrubbing. Hopefully it'll stay that way. But you see it's got some lean to it. If you look at the gap between the gate and the post, it gets down to nothing at the bottom basically. But it's a chicken pen. I mean, it is what it is, y'all. So what I did is I took a 8-foot 2x4, that severe treated stuff, and screwed it across to keep them two so they have to react together. Hopefully that'll stop them from leaning too much. And then I ran one over to the corner of the chicken pen to help hold that one. So hopefully that will keep my post where I want them to be. They were pretty solid before I put the boards up, but that's just insurance. And it's plenty high enough my mower can ride under it. So I'm probably going to add a board over here as well. That'll sturdy up both posts, you know, whichever one's sturdy is going to support the other and so on. But the gate's done. It's nailed all the way around. It's nailed down the diagonal, and the latch works really well. Took me a while to get this thing where it wasn't scrubbing the ground, but it doesn't hit the ground. You back up. Junior trying to sneak in there. So it goes So, Junior, you ain't got no business being over him. He being stubborn, y'all. Back up. Anyway, it doesn't scrub till like, well, it don't scrub at all, really. It hits the loose dirt back there. And it's not hard to pick the latch up and put it in. Boy, he took advantage of me opening that gate, didn't he? So it's a little bit of a gap right there. Baby chicks could go under it. That's where we dug the hole. First time, you know, when we messed up. So I could pack some more dirt on it, but it'll be all right. That fence has been stretched so much, it was actually over 4 feet by several inches because I've been stretching it. And I should have let the excess go down below the bottom, but it would have just rubbed the ground. It'd be all right. So this fence looks loose, but it's actually nailed to the post and to the pin. Something could go under there, so I'll probably put a board there as well, just to stop, you know, predators from going from one pin to the next. But I bought little bitty hinges, y'all. Let me pick this up. That's one of the rods out of the little bitty hinges. And the gate's not that heavy, but it's heavy enough that the hinge was bending and giving way. And that's not going to work for me. So I had these old, I got another set that's actually like this on both ends, but I wanted it to where I could screw it to the post, and all I had was these. I need to go get some washers and use one screw and do all that, but it's fine. So basically, the little old bitty hinges that I bought just wasn't going to work. They won't stand up. So I went and got these hinges that we bought at a yard sale 5 or 10 years ago. Been cluttering up my bench in the barn, so, and I'm like, these things won't bend, and I put them on. Works great. Now, probably didn't pay but $1 for them or something like that. Now the little hinges that I bought, I used on this door and didn't have an issue with them on this one. This one scrubs just a little bit, not enough to where, you know, I don't have to pick up on it, I just push. So these hinges worked okay, but you see how, if I get up close here, you see how they're starting to bend? The ones over there bent quite a bit. So I'll probably end up changing them to bigger hinges down the road, but for right now, that's fine. Because, you know, I don't need no excuse for another dog or whatever kind of predator to decide it can go through and kill more chickens. So it's pretty secure. It's the most secure it's ever been. And I actually got out there yesterday and nailed up the fence on that corner post. So I got to get the tractor over there. I got to get 2 boards sandwiched through the fence, screw it together and hook my chains to it so I can pull that fence tight to that corner post and nail it. And it was just too doggone hot, and guys, right now the humidity is about 95%. It just quit raining about 30 minutes ago. I had to stop in the middle of doing this gate and post and all because the rain came. It wasn't a whole lot of rain, but it was enough rain to make me go inside. So anyway, I dropped a Phillips bit out here somewhere, and you know, I'm looking for it, so I won't ever find it. But I'll be out here feeding the chickens or something, and I'll see it on the ground and pick it up. And I don't know about y'all, but I have a bad habit of losing the Star 20 bits and the number 2 Phillips bits. No matter what I do, I seem to lose them. So I bought like 30 of the Star 20s. I've still got 10 or 15. Of course, I lose them. But I bought a 10-pack of the number 2 Phillips last week. And I've still got all of them so far except for the one I lost today. So it'll be laying out here in the yard one day when I walk through, and I'll pick it up. But it's okay. I think I paid $7 or $8 for a 10-pack of them. So I'm not going to cry over spilled milk, as they say. But anywho, I wanted to show y'all it's done. I think it looks pretty good. Of course, the wood will age and weather like the rest of it has over the next 6-9 months, whatever, and blend in a lot better. But it's all tight, secure. There's no way a dog that's just basically not rabid is going to go through there. There's no way. In order for me to push this gate at the bottom, since the latch is at the top, I mean, I'm putting 25 pounds of pressure on that, and I'm only gaining an inch. So you got to push it pretty doggone hard to make it give. So I think I'm pretty secure. Now it's time to focus on the goat fencing. If I can get that fence done across the back and all the way, or the side, that's technically the side, and all the way down across the back, they will be as secure as it can possibly be, with the exception of an electric fence. And the chickens don't need an electric fence, but I might have to put one up to keep predators out and dogs and such out. And if I do, then I'll do that. I'm still planning on buying that one from the deputy if he ever gives me a call to come get it. So I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said in the other video, I think the 5 hens that we grabbed the night I went over and bought those hens from my buddy's daddy, I think they're all young and haven't started laying yet. They're adult size, but I don't think they've started laying. I haven't gotten an egg, and it's been, let's see, yeah, I think it's 5 days, 4 or 5 days. So they should be comfortable enough in their new pens and surroundings to have already laid eggs if they were laying. So I may have to wait. Hopefully they'll start in the next few weeks or a month or so. Maybe I won't be out of the egg business too long. Or I'll go back and see them and say, hey, I need a couple that are actually laying. Which, you know, I could bring some of these back to him and get some that are laying, or just buy some more. I don't know, but I'm gonna give them the end of this week we're in now to get comfortable and see if they lay. And if they don't, then I may call him back and say, hey, none of these are laying. You know, can I exchange a few or buy a few that are actually laying? Because he, in his words and his wife's words, they're overrun with eggs. Eggs are running out their ears. They don't know what to do with all of them. And he's got a bunch of hens that are young that haven't even started laying yet. So I don't think he's going to want the hens back, because he told me I could come get more if I wanted them. But this time, if I'm going to get some, I want to make dang sure they're of age to lay eggs. I mean, if they're not laying, you know, it's not helping me get more eggs on the counter, so to speak. So, guys, I appreciate y'all watching the video and keeping up with my little homestead and all the stuff that I do, and listening to me ramble sometimes. I appreciate y'all very much. But it is too hot for me to be out here right now. I'm soaking wet. I'll flip the camera around and show y'all. See my shirt? Soaking wet from here up. I'm soaking wet. It is time to go inside, change shirts to a dry shirt, and cool off a little bit. And if I feel like it after I cool off, I may come out and get the tractor and go over there and start on that goat fencing, which I need to get done. I'm not going to leave the chickens out. When they go to roost tonight, I'm going to lock them back up. They will not be left out in the open, in the run area when I'm not home until that goat fencing is done, so that I know dogs can't get through it. And if I buy that electric fence thing, you know, that'll make me feel a little better too. But I still have to turn that off when my grandkids are around, so they don't get hit and all that good stuff. But it's okay. I may put it on a timer that brings it on at night after dark and keeps it on until, you know, 6 o'clock in the evening, 5:30, something like that. That way when I get home from work, it's not on, and then bring it back on, you know, at dark. But it won't be but a couple months, y'all. It'll be dark at 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. So it is what it is. I did move the baby turkey. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. I forgot to tell y'all. I moved the baby turkey from Sue's pen with those 2 hens over here, because those hens were picking on it, and I don't want it injured anymore. So I put it over here with the baby Rhode Island Reds, and all of them seem to be getting along fine. And that's good. They're all babies, and maybe they won't pick on each other. But I see the new ladies are out there taking a dust bath. I'm gonna tell you, I was sitting out here watching them the other day, and when I had them all out, and Junior let out that little groaning growl, that noise they make when there's a predator around. And he made that noise, and every chicken out here, including the turkey, every one of them took off and ran back into the pen. They didn't hesitate. I'm glad they do that, but at the same time, I really wish he would only growl and make that noise, you know, when it's necessary. Look at him picking on the new one. They're down there taking the dust bath. But guys, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna get inside, get cooled off, get my wet shirt changed, and I may come out in a little while and work on that fence by myself. I mean, I can do it. It's just a whole lot of work by yourself. You know, if you got a helper, things go a whole lot easier. It's not that I don't want to. It's just that's a lot of work doing it by yourself. You know, I'm using the tractor to pull it tight, and I'd really like someone on the tractor, which is typically me, keeping tension on that fence while it's being nailed in place, and then I don't have to worry about it moving. So I still might work on it by myself, but it's better with two people at least. Y'all remember what I always tell you: Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe and be prepared.